So I had a couple of folks inquire. It was an inquiry. They said, you gotta talk about strategy. What's the strategy? Now, this is interesting. Strategy is key. It's very important. But strategy doesn't win battles. No, not really. Tactics do. Yeah, tactics win battles, not strategy. We've already outlined the strategy. We're talking. We're blocking. We're outside. We're mobilizing. We're organizing. We're agitating. Those are all strategies. Yeah. You can do what you will with those things. There's tentacles that you can operate under all of those things. Tactics. What tactics you use, that's open to your own interpretation. I'm more, personally, I'm kind of, I don't want to devolve too much of what we're going to do tactics-wise, but, opposition does their research. All I'll say is this. Unless you're doing something that you think is not going to help get over the finish line and win the battle, then you're really open to do anything. Yeah. And that's why I said it's organic, and I'm not going to police people on what type of tactics to use. No. I think it's authentic, and people will be more likely to participate anyway. Period. Huh? I think you'll have people in certain areas want to utilize certain tactics, maybe due to safety concerns, maybe due to logistic concerns, maybe due to a whole host of things, and that wouldn't be a bad idea. One tactic we gotta be is flexible. I can't stress that enough. If your ass needs to get to Texas and you're in California, you need to get to Texas. We shouldn't have to keep contacting you and saying, hey, come on, we need help in Texas, we need help in Texas. And we've got California covered. That's just, that's poor tactics on your part as an individual. If we drop the ball in New York, I'm going to look at tactics that are being utilized in New York. Why did X happen and not Y? Who was there? What did they do? What did other people do? All of these things are going to be examined. Yeah. It's not to say that mistakes are not going to be made. Yeah, they will be. But then you learn from your mistakes, so you don't repeat them. If we see something not working in New York, we don't want to have that being done in California. You say something might work in California that doesn't work in New York. Okay, that's possible. If it is, let's continue doing it. If not, then let's stop. It depends. Let me give you an example. Say you've got a lot of people in New York. Something breaks down. Some type of equipment breaks down. We need to replace the equipment quickly up in New York. The closest people are Chicago. Okay. But they might be out in California already. Now the closest people are going to be in Texas. It's your responsibility to know where everybody is who's closest to the vicinity where we need to get something replaced or more supplies or reinforcements. It's going to be people's responsibility who are closest. If Chicago is closest to New York, then they should get their asses there. But if Chicago is out in California, Texas is going to have to get to New York. We might have to abandon certain states and move all of our people to New York and then go down to Texas. We have enough in California, but we might have to split people up. Half go to Texas, half go to New York. Yeah. You say, why only those 3 states? Because they have the most congressional seats. Whoever wins a lot of congressional seats in California is going to have the majority in the House. Whoever wins a lot of congressional seats in New York will have the majority. Whoever wins a lot of congressional seats in Texas will have the majority. It's political. It's very strategic. It's a tactic, okay? I'm looking at numbers, numerical numbers. How many Congress members are in each state? Yeah. So we're going to be in key districts. We're not just going to be in California on the beach, on the boardwalk. No, we're going to be in districts that need us. We might be headquarters out of a city, but we're going to be able to be flexible and move. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to be flexible. Very flexible. I'm liking it though. What do I think is going to be the toughest, toughest location? Texas. Texas is going to be tough. They have a lot of folks in Texas. It's a red state. They control the government. New York and California is controlled by us. They control Texas. So what we're going to have to be doing mostly in Texas is field work, organizing, agitating. A lot of that is going to have to come out of the big cities, but some of it even in smaller and medium-sized places. Yeah. Also, we're going to have to be making news. Yeah, we're going to have to be making the news. They're going to have to hear about something happening somewhere. They might not start off calling it Operation Enduring Emancipation, but we'll know what it is. I don't know. I'll definitely know. Yeah. Now, California is going to be a little difficult too. Because you got a lot of conservative areas of California, a lot of Republicans in some of those districts. Some of those districts are very swingy. We're going to have to put people in there. And then we're going to have to get the concessions from the folks who are running. We don't have to get that in public. We can get that in private. Yeah. The main thing really is linking up with Hakeem Jeffries out of New York. He's the minority leader. He's going to be the, head honcho in New York. That's going to be the main thing. On the political end. Now, on our end, the operational end, we might have somebody different. Because he can only do so much. He's a politician. We can roll up our sleeves and do a little bit more. Yeah. We can do the dirty work. He can't do the dirty work. He's the minority leader. So we might have to, figure out some folks up in New York, see what's working, what's not. I think New York is going to be pretty good for us. Personally, I feel New York is going to be good. We got that. But we can't, rest on our laurels. We got to work with New York, too. if we have New York, buttoned down by May, which is what I'm shooting for, May of 2024, we should have New York on lock, meaning everything's set. Yeah. If we got New York by May, everybody getting their ass to Texas. Yeah, I'm coming to Texas. They say everything is bigger in Texas. Well, sweetheart, I'm coming to Texas. Yeah. It's going to be a bunch of us roll up in Texas. From Texas, we're going to send some folks to Mississippi and Alabama. Oh, now here's where it gets really juicy, right? You say, why would I send people to Mississippi and Alabama? They head off the incoming. We know that they're going to come from Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, into Texas when they see us. So we're going to send some people to reinforce what we already got there. Yeah. There's going to be 2 locations where a lot of the opposition is going to come from in Alabama. Pickens County, which is a sundown town, very much racist, white supremacist. They're going to come from Pickens and up into Texas. We already know. And then in Mississippi. You know who's coming from Mississippi. So we're going to send some reinforcements to Jackson and to our bigger cities, Birmingham and Alabama. Yeah. We'll have people on the ground. Yeah. A bunch of people traveling. A bunch. The Carolinas are going to be interesting. The way I see this is New York is going to have territory over the Carolinas. So we're going to have folks in North Carolina too. We're going to have folks in North Carolina. And the way I see it, they should have a phone. They should be on speed dial, New York and North Carolina. All next year. North Carolina should be able to pick up the phone and call New York and say, hey, we need 2,000 people right away. And New York hang up and say, 2,000, get on a bus, go to New York right now. We got the food, we'll pay for the food. Yeah. It's going to have to be how it is. Everybody get on the bus and get to North Carolina. From New York, they can get there quicker. Chicago, the decoy, the way I see it, we're going to be in the South. We're going to have to go down south and head up and, deal with that. And plus the folks from the Midwest know the South. A lot of them have family, relatives, friends. So the folks, the decoy, myself, I'm going to come to the South. Yeah, I'm planning to be in the South. A lot. Heavily armed. I'm not coming down there naked. I'm coming heavily armed. And I'm not coming by myself. Yeah. Yeah. We're coming with a lot of people. Heavily armed. Because I'm expecting opposition. That's also going to be heavily armed. Yeah. If we can block them off from getting to Texas, then I think Texas stands a chance of flipping. They know this. That's why they're going to send more people. Tactics. Yeah, tactics. Our people out in California are staying out in California. They're not moving. Unless they need to go to Nevada. California and Nevada, that's going to be like they're going to be like family. California, Nevada, and Arizona. Yeah. Anybody from Cali, a lot of those folks are going to be split between Nevada and Arizona. Period. Yeah. And they got the numbers to send people to flood Nevada and Arizona. We don't really need to worry about anything else. If Denver can come and assist us in Texas, that'll be helpful. If Denver and Colorado can come and assist Texas, that'll be really helpful. But we're going to be moving. The Midwest, the decoy bus out of Chicago, we're going to be moving. Oh, I didn't tell you all. It's a bus. Yeah, it's going to be a bus. Now, these buses, we got to equip them. We gotta equip them. Now, we're expecting, problems. So they gotta be equipped to handle all different types of problems. And I do mean all different types of problems. Yeah. We're always carrying stuff with us. Don't leave home without a weapon. Period. I don't care what it is. It doesn't have to be a gun, a weapon. Anything can be a weapon. Don't leave home without one. We're always carrying. There should be thousands of weapons on these buses in case, the Ford F-150s try to roll up on the side. You point them guns at them and tell them, if you try to run us off the road, we're opening fire. Period. It's self-defense. Yeah. Yeah, because, they're crazy. You saw what they did in 2020 where they tried to run the Biden-Harris campaign bus off the road in Texas. You saw how crazy they are. Now, if they try to do that to an official presidential nominee, their campaign bus, you know what they'll try to do to our operational buses. Yeah. We can expect, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, we're going to be rolling, but it's not just going to be a bus. We're going to be able to move in other types of vehicles too. I don't want to talk about all of it logistically right now. Talk about that later. But we'll have other types of vehicles. Yeah. Out in California, we might have to utilize some of some of our rough people. Because they're sending their rough people, so we might have to utilize some of ours too. We'll go talk to people if they need to. People out of Chicago, they're coming too. Yeah. Detroit, Chicago, and Cleveland. I'd rather Chicago stay a lot in Michigan, but I know they're going to be needed in the South. Yeah. They're going to be needed in the South. Period. We're going to need a lot of people in the South. We're going to need a lot. Let me repeat that, we're going to need a lot of people in the South. My thing is we want to get to Alabama and Mississippi before they cross over to Texas. Stop them before they get into Texas. Yeah. Yeah. Because we know where they're coming from. I'm not worried about Florida. We're not even going into Florida. Florida is a lost cause. We're not going into Florida. Somebody asked me that. I said no. It makes no sense. What Biden and Harris decide to do is not, we're not even, I don't want to say we're not affiliated, but I want to say it's a separate campaign. What Biden and Harris decide to do, whether they decide to try to do something in Florida or not, that's up to them. We're not going to Florida. Florida is a distraction for us. Yeah. And that's what they want. They want us to come in and play the political game. Look at the congressional seats and, the electoral college vote. We'll sacrifice Florida. We need to focus on Texas. And we're not even worried about the presidential electoral college vote in Texas. We're worried about those Congress members. We're worried about getting more Democrat Congress members. And that Senate seat. That Senate seat is huge. We want to win that Senate seat. That's why a lot of people come down there. That Senate seat is going to be highly competitive in those congressional districts. If we can flip it blue for Biden and Harris, that's great. But we need them Congress seats. Hakeem Jeffries needs enough seats so he can get this passed in the House. Period. Yeah. We got a congressional election too. And we go to each one of them candidates and we tell them what we want. Period. It can be in private. Yeah, we go to each one and they either agree, if they're in a primary and they don't want to, state what they're for, we go to their opponent. If their opponent, says that they're for it, then we back the opponent. We're doing whatever we need to do to get this over the finish line. Period. We're not going to fuck with the Democrats just because they're Democrats. They got to do what we want them to do. And this is what we want them to do. Period. So just because you're a Democrat and you're not on board, we're going to tell Hakeem Jeffries when we meet with him, Hakeem, your caucus, all of them, they better stick like glue on this. Because if there's a primary and one of them starts waffling, we're going to be with the one who supports us. It's going to be a contentious primary. Yeah. And we'll find somebody to primary them if they don't have a primary challenge. This is important. This gets done. Yeah. We're not going to have all of these people sacrifice and all of this shit go down and they can't finish the job. No. No. People are not going to come outside from all walks of life and spend time, take a year out of their life to do this, and they can't do it. No. We're going to get the concessions up fucking front. Period. Yeah, it's not going to be like before where we told, just waiting to after it. No. No, we're not waiting to after any election. We're getting it up front. We don't have to get it up, in front of the cameras. We can go into a back room and they talk numbers. You talk business in the back room. Yeah. And just like I said with the Republicans, if the Democrats start talking D's, we're talking T's. So you tell Hakeem, hey, how many seats do you need? How many people do you need to get 10 to 14 T and not B? How many people you need? If he tells you we need 10 seat majority, then we'll work on getting 10. And we pick up those 10 in New York, California, and Texas. Period. And that Senate seat is important in Texas. So that's why we're focusing on Texas hard. We're going hard in Texas. This was well strategized and thought out. If we get New York unlocked by May, it'd be perfect if we got it unlocked for George Floyd's, anniversary, May 25th. We get New York unlocked May 25th, it's going to go up. When a state is unlocked, shoot up a flare and fireworks and let us know. Send a message that it belongs to us and not them. Yeah, send us a message. We'll see it. Make it loud and make it clear. We'll see it next year for sure. This is about victory. Finally. Yes. Finally finishing this job. It should have been finished a long time ago. It's a damn disgrace it took this long. 250 years nearly. It's a damn disgrace. But we're going to do it in 24. That's what 24 is about. It's about the stand and the choice. Okay, we're going to finish. Somebody said Chicago was going to be on the West Coast. Not necessarily. If we don't need people in California, then we'll send them to the South. I would prefer Chicago to go to Alabama and Mississippi. They got family down there. They know people. And one thing's for sure. Them Southern boys are not going to bully our Northern boys. They can think they can run up on Chicago if they want to. Sweetheart, you don't know Chicago. Yeah, they can think. We're not just taking anybody down there. We're not just taking just anybody. Once we get to this point, everybody gonna want to go. Everybody gonna want to go. The gang members, all of them are gonna want to be part of this. I don't think people understand how big this is gonna be. This is gonna be big, real big, bigger than anything you've ever seen. Yeah, the gang members gonna want to go. Absolutely. When they get told they're gonna be compensated for what they've gone through as citizens in this country, yeah, that they're finally gonna get the repair that they need, yeah, everybody gonna. Ain't nobody gonna get out. I don't think you all know, but you're gonna find out very soon. The main thing is we gotta stay hot and we gotta stay flexible and we gotta stay ready. There can be no complacency, nor apathy in war. Period. I know folks are not gonna get complacent in Texas. We can get complacent in New York either. Do not. Here's the thing. Somebody will hear this, say that they finished their work in New York, run out of New York. We're going to have people that, before you can leave, we're going to have people observe what you've done, your work, check you. If we check and you haven't really finished in New York, there's still a problem. No matter how tiny, if there's still a problem, there's still a problem. See, people are not going to understand this until it happens. You can't say you're finished and then we go there and there's still some issues. It has to be completely done. If there's no problems, then everybody's going to have to head down to Texas. Period. We want New York to be done by May 2024. No later than the end of May, New York should be done, complete. I think they can do it. That's March, April, and May. It's not going to take too long for New York. We just need to square away some things. You said there's some rough conservatives in New York. Yeah, I know. We got something for them. Have you been to the Bronx and Brooklyn? Yeah. Yeah, New York City. Yeah, we know. There's rough conservatives everywhere. There's rough people like us too. Yeah. All I'm saying is this. I hope it remains civil. But I expect it won't. Because we know what the stakes are. And this is for all the marbles. Yeah. Yeah. If it was going to be easy, it would have been done a long time ago. Right? Ask yourself, why wasn't this done a long time ago? There's been impediments, roadblocks, opposition. Yeah. That's why. But it's finally time to finish it, yeah. A lot of people, when the reality dawns on them what this really is, a lot of people are going to be so happy. Regardless of what happens to them, they're going to be so happy. Because a lot of people, it's going to be about their children. Their children and what they want to leave for their children. Legacy. Yeah. A lot of people are going to be like, yeah, I want to do this. People y'all wouldn't even expect are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to do this. You're going to have a lot of people that never voted. They're going to get off their ass and they're going to come down there. Mark my word. You're going to see. We're all going to see something we ain't never seen before. Wait till 24. Yeah. Everybody's going to have to take the stand and make the choice. Everybody.